Time it is? It's Passover time. Yeah, so if you're celebrating, enjoy Passover. If you're not, follow along the recipe. Making sea bass with fava beans puree and crunchy Swiss chard. To start, we need the black sea bass, ginger, basil, mint, garlic, fava beans, lemon, Swiss chard, Silvetrano olives, olive oil, and a fish stock. This is kind of a very concentrated fish stock. Don't even worry about it. I'll explain you another recipe how to do it from scratch. Fish sauce, don't even worry about it. I mean, there's just an extra. You can completely omit it from the dish. If you want to kind of replicate it, just add some olive oil, just a little bit of garlic, then tomatoes, then add your fish stock, let it reduce down by 2/3, and then you have something similar to it. But the real recipe is much more complex, and it requires me to actually go find the fish with the old bones, roast the fish, then, you know, make a stock out of it, then put it, filter it, then it's crazy. I'm gonna use it just to give it a little garnish to the fish after. So super fine. Kind of the bottom part, that's it. And you're done with the prep. Now simply place the Swiss chard in a sheet pan. That's it. 1, 2, and this third one. Super easy. We're kind of gonna let them dry out. Add a little pepper, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt, and that's it. Our oven is at 400 degrees, and we're just gonna put the Swiss chard in. We can put it on the top rack. It's completely fine. Okay, let's take the bottom of the Swiss chard. Just put it in a bowl. Very simple. Then we take the garlic. Again, smash it with the back of your knife. Take the peel out. Very simple. And then use only just a small portion of the garlic. The other rest, we're gonna put it in the oven with the rest of the fish. Just clean your kitchen as you go. And cut this very fine. Do one round like this. Do another round. Do a third round, paste it around. You kind of want it like pretty fine. That's it. Yeah, just keep on going. You want it relatively fine. You don't want to paste. Pretty fine. This is going to make kind of a vinaigrette to go on top of the fish. That's it. You see the texture? Not too fine. Raw garlic, yes. That's it. We're going to add some olive oil to this. A little bit of lemon. Just a little lemon, squeeze of lemon. Not all of it. We're gonna take our basil. Perfect. Just, you know, wrap it around and give it a rough chop. I like to feel the pieces of basil. That's it. Perfect. Just a little bit more of olive oil. Tiny bit of salt. Yeah, just mix this. And this is gonna go on top of your fish at the end just to freshen it up. In the meantime, in another pan, chip pan or oven tray, just put a little olive oil. Season your fish. Salt. Pepper. Set quickly. Put the skin down. Just give it a little dip so that the olive oil gets distributed all over the skin. Again, 1, 2, 3. Remaining seasoning that's on the plate, just dump it across, completely fine. We take a piece of ginger, just give it a rough chop. The garlic that was remaining from the sauce, that's it. And we go in the oven for 6 minutes. In the meantime, the Swiss chard is almost ready. Now we're gonna prepare the blender before we put the fava beans in, just because they're gonna take so quick. So we do a little bit of olive oil, mint, lemon, bit of pepper, bit of salt, and we have this ready. Water's pretty hot at this point. Just put the fava beans and just let it be in the water for only 30 seconds. Let it warm up. That's it. No salt in the water, nothing. We already put salt in the blender. Just rewarm the fava beans. That's the thing. Frozen fava beans are completely fine. I mean, during this time, it's quarantine, I'm home. Like, just use frozen fava beans. If you don't find fava beans, replace it with lima beans. I don't know. Have fun. Create. Do whatever you want. That's it. 30 seconds. Shut off the heat and transfer all the fava beans in the blender. And make sure it's only 30 seconds. Don't do more than that. Be very hot. We already had the oil and everything else there. Just add 3 cubes of ice and blend it. Essentially, you're looking for this like very green fava bean puree. It's like beautiful, super silky, almost like mashed potato, but it's just fava beans, a little lemon, olive oil, salt, pepper, and mint. Fava beans are too thick and like the blender won't go. Just add a little bit more water, add a little bit of olive oil, and move it around. Just do little by little, because if you add too much, then it's going to become too liquid. 4 minutes have passed. As you can see, the color has drastically changed, but they're super crispy, and that's exactly what we want. It's just an element of textures. With the fish, 6 minutes have gone by. I mean, for this size, it's more than fine. And now just let it rest. That's perfectly fine. It's gonna rehydrate itself and it's gonna be super moist. Okay, let's take our olives, just a little bit of the brine water. Let's throw it in the crunchy part. Let's take a couple of olives and just roughly chop them. Completely forgot about this part, but trust me, you're gonna add so just press them down so that they won't fall apart. And that's it, just give it a little chop. That's it. Add it to your marinade, vinegar, whatever you want to call it. That's it. See? This is gonna go on top of the fish. See, I stopped cursing in this recipe. I stopped cursing. You know why? Because I want to make sure that your children can watch it as well. I understand many of you probably are like, oh, but I don't have children. I would ask all my friends to perhaps think again. You never know. You never know. Okay, at this point we're quickly gonna plate. So just take your fava bean puree. That's it. Just give it a very decised pose. Let's take our sea bass. Place it over there. Finish it with just a little bit of the sauce. Let's take our vinegar, our crunchy element condiment. Let's put it on top. That's it. Your chips, your whatever you want to call it, your Swiss chard chips, break it apart. Or simply just place a leaf on top. I like to break it apart. Get the fish. This way I'm gonna center it. Now go with the chips. Kind of putting out there with the puree. A little bit of the ends. Just the sauce again. That's it. Now you pretty much have your fancy, not so complicated to cook sea bass. Just plate it into a different way. This looks like a mess. This looks like it's more refined. It doesn't matter. That's it. Super easy, simple. This was like a wild dish that I don't even know where it came from. I'm like, I just was looking through my fridge, things that I had, things that I had in my freezer, trying to figure out to make sense of it. So it's definitely not an Italian recipe. It's just food that it makes sense for me. I mean, it just made sense. It was amazing, super delicious, and it's just a way to inspire you. This could only be divided in, 3 different recipes. Like the fish on its own, that's already a recipe. You can do that on your own and cook it and eat it, and it's completely fine. Vegetable, fava bean puree, same thing. Do the fava bean puree, ever with bread, ever with rice, ever with farro, ever with pasta. That's his own recipe. You want to add the chips just for a snack? Do it as a snack. You can combine everything at once and make it, a fucking crazy explosion. Yes, do that. That's it. Have fun. Cook.